The Big Ten football action commences this weekend with Illinois, striving to stay above the 500 mark as they welcome the 7th overall ranked Penn State to town in the third week of college football action on Saturday. Tune in at noon on Fox for this Big Ten kickoff. The current betting line favors Penn State by 14.5 points, with the over-under line is set at 48.5 points. Stay tuned as we provide in-depth previews for both teams' performance this season, expert picks, and insights from our computer model. First, let's take a look at Penn State. After their Week 1 win against West Virginia, there is a lot of excitement in Happy Valley, and for good reason. Sophomore quarterback Drew Allar checked all the boxes in his first start. He went 21 for 29, while Lambert Smith looked every bit the number 1 receiver he is listed on the depth chart as. Meanwhile, star tailbacks Singleton and Allen picked up where they left off last year and moved piles all night with 137 combined offensive yards. In their Week 2 matchup against Delaware, Penn State went up early and were able to rotate their second and third string players early in the second half. Their sophomore quarterback looked good for the second straight week, completing 22 of 26 passes for 204 yards. Penn State will look to keep the momentum moving forward in their first road game of this season. Can they continue to move the ball downfield with ease, or will Illinois defense be the first team this season to really punch them in the nose? Penn State has seemed like they have their eye on the point spread so far this season as they made sure to punch in a ball late to cover against West Virginia. Coach James Franklin has been well known to keep his foot on the gas even while he was at Vanderbilt, so it may not be the most risky bet in the world to lay the 14.5 points here on the Nittany Lions. Although this will be the first Big Ten defense that Penn State faces this year, we have a feeling they will still be able to replicate their past high-scoring performances this weekend in Champaign. Now let's dive into Illinois' season so far. Illinois showed there was obvious room for improvement for their first game of the season against Toledo. They escaped the game with a 30-28 win against the Rockets. Toledo gave Illinois all they could handle and almost came out with an upset win. Illinois was 7-point favorites in this game and needed a game-winning field goal to put away their inferior opponent. Illinois was outgained both on the ground and in the air by Toledo. They needed a 23-point second half to win the game. Although they were able to win the game, this was not the start that Illinois fans wanted this football season. In their Week 2 game, Illinois lost 34-23 to Kansas. A year after having the best point-per-game defense in the country, the Illinois backline had no answer for Kansas's offense. The defense has been disappointing so far 2 weeks into the season. It was their crown jewel last season, and this year it has given up 62 points in 2 games against inferior opponents. The Illinois defense was able to step up in the second half against Kansas and limited the Jayhawks to 6 total points. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough, and Illinois lost the game. There was a glimmer of hope for Illinois last week, but they won't be able to dig themselves out of a hole if they allow Penn State to have an explosive first half. But more importantly, can Illinois cover a 14.5-point spread at home? Penn State faces Illinois for the 27th matchup between the schools. The Nittany Lions have won 6 of the last 8 meetings. However, a 3-game win streak was snapped in 2021 as the Fighting Illini won 20, 18-9 overtimes. The game was tied at 10-10 after regulation. After the teams traded field goals in the first 2 overtimes, the game went to alternating 2-point conversion attempts, with Illinois getting the final one in the 9th overtime. Illinois won the game 18-20. Penn State will be looking to avenge this loss on the road for Fox's Big Noon kickoff. When it comes to betting on this game, we are going to be backing Penn State minus 14.5. The Nittany Lions offense is looking better than ever with their new quarterback, and the tough Illinois defense we came to know last season seems non-existent. One bet we are targeting is Penn State minus 7.5 in the first half of the game. Penn State has taken it to both their opponents early on this season and scored a combined 49 points in the first half. Illinois, on the other hand, has given up a combined 40 points in the first half of their 2 games this season. Our experts believe that Penn State's offense will be too much for this Illinois defense that hasn't found its footing yet this year. Penn State looks like a transformed team now that 6-year quarterback Sean Clifford has finally moved on. We don't believe we will see any more Penn State games where the offense fails to click like we have in recent years. Our computer model is backing Illinois plus 14.5 here, and that may be due to the past performance of Illinois' defensive unit. The computer looks at past season data along with current data to simulate the score. So many of Illinois' games in recent years have been low-scoring slugfests, so no surprise the model is taking the points here and backing the underdog. When it comes to the over-under line, both our experts and computer model agree that betting under 48.5 points is the right move. We know Penn State will get their points in this game, but will Illinois be able to do their fair share to push the total over? We are going to bet no. Illinois has a combined total of 53 points this season, with 41 of those points coming in the second half. We don't think Illinois will have the opportunity to score garbage time points against a stout Big Ten Penn State defense. We hope this Penn State versus Illinois prediction and betting picks were helpful, and remember, if you are betting, to bet responsibly this weekend. Thanks for watching and good luck.